Welcome back to Blackthornprod. I'm Noah, and in this video I wanted to share with you some stuff I've been creating over the past few weeks, even months, and I've never actually showed before to anyone. Yes, it's time for me to reveal some epic games I've been feverishly creating in complete secret. I think I've made something that's even better than Hollow Knight, The Binding of Isaac, and Celeste. Let me present to you... No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to share with you my numerous failures and buggy game prototypes. Until now, I've almost only shared my best projects, my finest creations yet. I've only showed you my successes, and that's usually what everyone only shows: their polished, finished successes, their final best results. A quick dive into Steam, for example, reveals hundreds and hundreds of amazing magical games. The art is usually outstanding, and the experiences on show fascinating. Every day I play incredible games that just feel so perfect, like Spelunky and Hollow Knight and Slay the Spire. How do the developers do this? How come are they so damn good? Now let's head over to Pinterest and take a look at some breathtaking art over there. I mean, look at all this, it's amazing. I can now take a quick peek at ArtStation and goggle at a few masterpieces over there. The point I'm trying to make here is that in general, every single day we are confronted with successes. We almost only see everyone's greatest achievements. And so when opening up Unity to work on our own game, or when we want to draw something or whatnot, we can sometimes be filled with a slight feeling of despair, a real lack of motivation. Everyone seems to be so ahead, making stuff that's so much better, more interesting, polished and successful. Playing amazing games like Hollow Knight, or staring at some great art, or listening to wonderful music can have different effects. Either it can fill you with inspiration, joy and a real hunger to make great things yourself, or it can feel discouraging at times. The gap between your skills and theirs apparently massive and overwhelming. I mean, just picture yourself playing the amazing atmospheric game Inside, enjoying yourself hugely, soaking in that world. And then a few hours later you switch it off and decide to spend some time on your own game, your own beautiful project. It's tough, it can really be such a crazy mental challenge. But obviously no one makes amazing things easily. No one can become truly skilled in a few days. It is impossible to do great things without first going through struggles, setbacks, and challenges. And it's quite easy to forget that everyone whom I look up to, or that have made amazing things, have gone through some very tough times first to get where they are today. And I think that's where the magic lies. I love hearing true stories of people that came from nothing, or had to go through crazy struggles but that emerged victorious in the end. Because I can relate to that, to their hardships and struggles, and be able to believe that if I too keep working on my craft and enjoying the process, I'll be able to reach that level too someday. With that said, let me share with you tons of silly, boring, crappy, failed things I've made recently or some time ago. Hopefully if you're facing a tough time right now, or feel like you're not progressing, or that all that you make is crap, or that you'll never be good, watching this will get you realizing a bit more that A, you're not alone making bad, boring things, and B, failure is success in progress. Each one of your failed games, pieces of art, scripts, music, anything really, is a valuable lesson that gets you that wee bit closer to your inevitable masterpiece. That's why I strongly believe anyway. So yeah, let's all fail together, share those failures so that when we do finally make something truly great, we'll have proof of our bumpy, challenging journey, there to inspire others. So first of all, here's a game project called Planet Universe. Obviously just a placeholder name. This was made in a day and it's really bad. It makes you feel dizzy, hopping from planet to planet feels a bit buggy and unresponsive, and so yeah, I just spent hours programming this, trying to squeeze some fun into it. I'd actually spent a long time jotting down on paper what I was sure was going to be a fantastic, ingenious game, but yet, turned out badly. But again, that's fine, and making this was far from a waste of time. It was a great learning experience. I improved my coding skills and flushed out from my system some bad ideas. I always try and find some positive in every one of my failures, even the days where I don't do anything at all. Yep, that does happen. There are just days where I look at a blank Unity project like this one and just really don't feel like making anything. Or there's some days where I just spend hours procrastinating, browsing YouTube, Twitter and other social media. These things happen to everyone, remember that. But these days give meaning to more active, creative days. You, all of us, we're not machines, we're going to mess up sometimes. But heck, what is good without bad? If there was only ever good, then the good would lose its taste eventually, right? It's like fighting a boss game character and defeating it in one go. It feels okay, but nothing compared to defeating a boss after dozens and dozens of attempts. That hardship made the victory feel all the sweeter. Anyway, after having made my tiny Halloween game The Other Side, which was greeted extremely well, I set out to make an expanded, more complete version of that game. And damn did I feel badly trying to do so. I restarted so many times. This is one prototype I just gave up on, for example. And here's one which I felt really good about initially, but just lost motivation on it, and so now it's just another abandoned project. And usually I spend a few hours thinking and writing stuff down on paper before starting to work on these failures, trying to come up with the perfect idea, the seamless masterpiece. Oh, and here's another failed attempt at trying to expand on The Other Side. And this is another. Basically I spent several weeks making absolutely no progress, just restarting again and again, feeling like the idea had so much potential, but not really knowing what to do with it exactly. And notes that I'm still trying, and this time I've been working on the same project for a bit more than a week, so I believe I finally have something good on my hands. Then we have a game called Bombs. I spent a weekend making this, where you control this squishy white character moving about a procedural, fully destructible world with a jetpack, throwing orange bombs that explode on collision. The controls feel really great, and I might want to return to this project, but yeah, for now it's just another abandoned empty husk. And here's another abandoned nothing, a lonely character jumping and shooting on a bland platform. And this was supposed to be a musical game where each character makes a particular weird sound, which together would make a cool music. But you guessed it, I killed that project too. I mean, just take a look at my folder entitled Games 2018. Look at the amount of projects I started, and out of all these, I must have finished maybe 10%. And then there's game jams. I always make a couple really crappy prototypes before coming up with the cool idea I usually pursue and complete. Just take a look at a few of my game jam behind the scene videos, and you'll understand what I'm talking about. And of course I failed and given up on other things than just game projects. Remember the Udemy course me and my bro completed last month about how to create a 2D action game from scratch using Unity and C#? Well, that wasn't my first attempt. I started work on my Udemy course 3 whole times before finally feeling satisfied and motivated with what I had, and then completing that. I spent a few weeks making this course filled with tutorials on how to animate game characters using Unity. I made about a dozen videos for that course and gave up on it, and that was silly, and I definitely need to continue work on that project. But again, no one's perfect, we're going to mess up and do dumb things. It's important to just keep going despite these failures. Let me now share with you some stuff I made even further back. For example, this concept art was for a game called The Winter, and it was at a time when I didn't know how to program and relied completely on my brother for anything C# related. And I just made so many 3D models and animations for that game, just to realize that what I was asking my brother to code was ridiculously ambitious. So that was obviously something we dropped. Oh, and this is an early Dodge the Blocks masterpiece I made about 2 years ago, when merging art, animations, and programming was something still abstract and very tough for me to get my head around. I could really go on and on, sharing with you dozens upon dozens of things I made that weren't good at all, or projects I gave up on because of lack of motivation, inspiration, or whatever else. I've literally showed you a small, tiny fraction of what I've created in the past, and I love looking at all these failures. It reminds me how much I've improved, and they give meaning to my successes. And usually bits and pieces of my failed projects end up in my successful ones, which feels great. With that said, I hope you now feel less alone making bad stuff. I know with absolute certainty that everyone who has ever made anything great has a large folder, like myself, with tons of quirky, failed projects. It's just part of the journey. Anyway, thanks so much for watching this video. I'm now going to enjoy a Christmas holiday break, so there won't be any new videos until the start of the new year. I really hope you enjoy your holidays yourself, spend some good time with family, friends, and play some awesome games. Also, here's a shout out and a big thank you to these awesome people for supporting me financially via Patreon. You guys are really awesome. Oh, and by the way, don't hesitate sharing some of your failure stories in the comments section. I want everyone to be able to help each other, so if you're going through or have gone through some struggles, definitely say so, and perhaps share how you overcame those challenges or what you plan on doing to overcome them. This way others can maybe learn from your mistakes and feel inspired. Okay, thanks again. Cheers.